Let's have some great conversation. Musa Dankwa will be joining us. He's out with his latest poll, and we'll be talking about that. He's been proposed. I've seen that they've been insulting him. I won't say criticize. They've been insulting him. That it's just 9 months into the NDC government, and he's already proposing Haruna, Atoforsin, Julius Debra, and General Mosquito, and all that to be successors to JDM, John Dramani Mahama, who, by the way, the last week was just very apt with a speech before the General Assembly of the United Nations. So he's joined us. Good morning to you, Musa Dankwa.
Good morning, Roland.
Okay, great. You are there already. So I'll be with you. Let me just introduce my guests in the studio. I have lawyer Apia Dankwa. Lawyer Apia Dankwa, of course, you know, by lawyer, legal practitioner with the Movement for Change. So he's a politician. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while because I was a bit under the weather, so I took the 2 weeks off. But it's good to see you once again.
Yeah, myself, I haven't been here
for 2 weeks now. Okay, for some time now. Okay. Speedy recovery to you as well. And then Dr. Bernard Tutu Boahin. He's also a political analyst. He's a researcher. He is with the University of Education, Winneba. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Papa Ro.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
I love your blue.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also in blue
is the
too.
color.
Yeah. Please show me. You see my blue? There's red. There's blue. Yeah, white.
NPP.
Yeah. So. Oh, poor me.
So that is an identity, right?
Yeah, you know when you wear this, yes. So these are NPP colors, right? So tomorrow I'll wear the green to represent NPP, and then next one I'll wear yellow. Okay. It's just by way of sarcasm, just to invite you onto the show. But, you know, as I always do, for all those who join us, especially Prince Nani Yao York, who lives in the UK, okay, who lives in the UK, as well as all of you who tend to watch us, Engineer Samoa Chum of Fashongman, who is a strong Arsenal fan, Chairman Riches William Kokoti. Good morning to you, Prince Henry Kofodia, Ogochuku Unweke, Sherry Giovanni, all lawyer Sergio Leonard, and then also now 10 policy analysts, Master Planner Junior. He's called Zach. It's called Zachariah, though. So let me just acknowledge all of you on our Facebook stream. Please share the stream. Today, somebody told me when the topic came out that it's a very controversial topic that is too early for us to discuss, but I'm not the one. Global Info Analytics decided to wade into a conversation. They did some selection of individuals in NPP and NDC. For all the NPP individuals, they have 10 sins against each other. So we have Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Brian Champong. We also have Engineer Kwabene Japan as well. Kenny Japan, we know that he's a towering figure when it comes to the race for the NPP as well. And so Brian Ichampo, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, Kenny Japan, Engineer Kwabene Japan as well. And for the NDC, a number of names. It's just 9 months into the administration. So many people say it's premature. Global Info Analytics, in their latest survey, they just adore the survey this morning. And so we'll take a look at it. I got snipers of it before the close of yesterday night, so to speak, before entering the dawn of today. And so let me just say Prince Nania York has joined us. Inshraba Keofori has joined us. Kakra Beidu, I've seen you. Share the stream. Sami Frank Backman, share the stream as well. Let's have some great conversations. And let's know what you think. Amma Kokonsa. Why would you say your name is Amma Kokonsa? David Pamford, I see you. Please share the stream. Musa Dankwa, I've seen your survey. Let me just go through the survey. Please put it on the screen before Musa Dankwa comes in, and let's take a look at it as quickly as possible. So he did it for both NPP and NDC, but he did some permutations. Usually, he bet. So he says presidential primaries and outlook for 2028 general elections. In my opinion, I was thinking it's just too early. 9 months into the NDC administration. And even for the NPP, they are now still recovering, you know. So it's published today. And it shows a majority of voters preferring Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, etc. Please, let's go. Let's go to where the bar charter or the histogram charter, and then let's quickly take a look at it. Let's quickly skip through, and then we'll get there. Okay. Put it on the screen for me, please. I don't know, for those who are watching us, what do you make of the Global Info Analytics survey and voters' preference for leadership? Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is 57%, 29% for Ken. I'm not too sure Get Connected people will be happy this morning with Musa Dankwa. Dr. Yaosei Duchum, when he was in office, I was so close to him, and he's a very good man, I have to say that. Dr. Yaosei Duchum, very, very good man. Dr. Brian Champon, also a good man, is an entrepreneur as well, occupied the position, lastly, Minister of Agric. Engineer Kwabene Japon, I knew him when he was press secretary to President John Ejekum Kufuor, and then became the general secretary ultimately for the NPP. And we're told that the voters' preferences. So I would ask, is it the general voter population, or it is the delegates population, the delegates voter population of the NPP? Now let's quickly sift through and see whether we can find the NDC as well. So we'll look at the NDC, then we'll go to Musa Dankwa. My position is that it's too early in the day, but why does a pollster like Musa Dankwa, who heads the Global Info Analytics company, because that's what they do. They do for both private entities, firms, etc. He's worked on a lot of things. But many people don't know that Musa Dankwa worked also on the national identification database that we have. And so voters' preference for NDC leadership. And I have some of my good friends also in there. I see Eric Opoku in there as well, a Greek minister. And Haruna Idrisu apparently is towering with some 29%. Is it 29% I see? And then 24% for General Mosquito. And that's Esiedun Ketia, the party chairman. And I don't know whether this is shocking or the finance minister seems to be third with 18.4%. And then the fourth, we have Julius Debra. Julius Debra has 10.3%. Then there's Okujeto, there's Eric Opoku as well. Professor Joshua Alabi is in there, Ama Kofi Boa, and then Kwame Wadakun, and we have Spio Gabra, Oko Vanderpoy. I don't know how Oko Vanderpoy was chosen to be part as well. And one of the criticisms, especially from NDC folks on social media, is how did he get to select this individual? Well, we'll focus on the key individuals up to about Joshua Alabi or something, or maybe up to Eric Opoku. And too early in the day, many say, Musa Dankwa, tell me, what was the rationale and the reasoning behind this?
Right. Thank you very much for having me. Posters don't take instructions from people in doing their work. We do our work because it benefits us as a company, and it serves a certain group of people who want to know who will lead NDC and even Ghana in 2028. And also, we've been thrown into the MPP race, and there's no way we're going to go and do MPP race without touching on the NDC race. Thirdly, I mean, there shouldn't be ostriches. People are going around organizing their campaign. What we have just done is to bring to you what people are thinking. We have not done anything different from what people are actually doing on the ground.
Okay. Are you still on the stream? I think we had a break there.
No, I was saying that the work we do benefits a group of people or organizations who want us to do what we are doing.
Okay.
They want to know who lead NDC. And there are people even within the list we have who are putting down systems to make sure that they are on a ticket to campaign for themselves. So if we are asking people who they think should lead NDC, we haven't done anything wrong.
Okay. Now, what were the benchmarks, the parameters, or the considerations you made for both sides in choosing the sample size from the voter population that you did, and then what were some of the the questions that you pose to them? I mean, readily.
No, these are what they call regular tracking polls. The questions are similar to what we've been asking over the years, with few additions here and there. We sampled about 7,500 people face-to-face and about 2,000 people on the telephone for the public polls.
Okay.
When it comes to the MPP delegates element, we sampled over 2,500 among MPP delegates, and we spoke with them on telephone.
What were the responses generally?
On what issues?
Let's take MPP. What were the responses on maybe the demeanor of the candidates, their achievements, whether they have to be repeated on the ballot paper, etc.? Let's say for the individuals that we have. Now we know them, the individuals. We know DMB, we know, please put the MPP back on screen. We know DMB, we know Kenny Japan, etc. Because I'm thinking on social media, I live on TikTok these days, Kenny Japan is making so much inroads, and so why should he be towering above DMB, for example, etc.? I mean, those permutations.
Look, we do polls. We don't do comprehensive research of political parties.
Okay.
As to what characteristics or what body language, demeanor, whatever it is, we don't measure that. It's for them to go and measure. We ask simple questions. Who would you prefer to lead MPP and other questions? So this is what we get. If they have any further inquiries to make from this survey, they can do so using their own resources.
What were some of the considerations they gave to have the individuals lined up the way they are?
As I mentioned, we don't ask them reasons for choices they are making. We don't ask you your reason for choosing Mr. A or Mr. B. This is a straightforward poll of open and close-ended questions. You make a choice, you move.
And for the NDC, how did you come up with all those names? Because they've been insulting you on social media a lot, so I've been wondering.
No, I anticipated that to come. Look, we put out a word out there that these are the names that we are considering sending to the voters. If you have any other name that is not included, can you please send us a message? Some did. So if you didn't do that and your name is not there, don't come and blame us.
Okay. So how did you get to select the names? That's the question I asked you.
Look, there are leaders we know visibly who are there out there leading NDC. So that's the first criteria. Who has led NDC in the past? Who are the leading figures? And then there are people who may be in the shadows, not leading at the moment, but in the shadows. So if you look at the list we have right now, it's a mixture of people who are ministers, people who are party leaders, and people who are heading other organizations within the government. And we put up a word out there that if you have interest or if you know of somebody who is contesting or who intends to contest and his name is not there, let us know. And 3 or 4 of the list that you have there were through that kind of backdoor communications. So we've done our best to put it there. And we told people to let us know if there are people that will contest, but we haven't put their name there. And nobody.
Is it possible that the numbers that the candidates are getting from all sides, whether it's Haruna on the NDC side or DMB on the other side, there could be some indicators or factors that could change the numbers by way of the percentages they are polling? Mr. Musa Dankwa?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, line dropped.
Okay, so the question I asked is, what usually become the indicative factor that could change the poll numbers for these individuals, usually, based on your observation and experience as a pollster?
The list is very long. And others will look at the data if they've done their own work and realize that they're not viable. So they will just discount their ambition and go focus on what they are doing. So the list would narrow to the most realistic people that we believe would contest. And then we'll begin to see consolidation of these numbers around few candidates. And then you can see the race change.
How did you draw the conclusion that The only NDC candidate Baumia beat is Julius Debra, and all the others. All the others beat Baumia. I didn't say you. I mean your numbers.
It's no conclusion. It's the data. It's the polling data.
Okay.
So if you put it like that, it sounds like we have done some calculations and put some numbers out there.
Okay.
No, these are a simple count of people who said they will vote for Julius Debra or they will vote for Baumia if that is the race they have. And what we have given you is exactly what they told us.
So what did they tell you regarding Kenny Japon and then also Julius Debra and then also the other candidates and Dr. Mahmoud Baumia?
No, the numbers are in the data. In the case of NPP candidates against NDC candidates, with the exception of Julius Debra, everybody else is defeating NPP candidates in the race. So that's so far what we have seen in the data. As to how is it?
I didn't get the last one. I think the internet connection was bad.
Sorry, I was saying that if you look at the data we have published today, with the exception of Julius Debra, all the other NDC candidates, the 4 or the other 3 are defeating MPPs or they are leading MPP candidates, both Baumia and Kenny Japon. And that's what we have right now. We don't know how these numbers will change in the future, but we'll be there to measure it if it does.
Okay. Then the people you sampled, did they make any suggestion as to the age range of individuals that would want to lead them or to be in the conversation about leadership up to 2028 in terms of their age, how old they should be, etc.? What percentages do we have?
That wasn't measured in the survey. It has to be, well, we have to either go back again and see what age they have in mind. But we didn't measure what age they are talking about. We can only do so much at a time.
Okay. So generally, do they prefer a young person to lead or an older generation?
I mean, the poll shows that 64% of them prefer young leaders. And that is quite significant. Because if you look at the data currently, about 78% of the respondents were below 45 years of age.
Okay.
And generally, that number is about 75% across the voting bloc. So the country is a young population, and they are saying that they want young leaders.
Okay, then that will lead me to ask the question about, if you look at the spectrum of the voter population, 18 to the last voter, what's the breakdown then?
Now, if you look at the age groups, we have 10% between 18 and 24 years, 34% between 35 and 34 years, and another 34% between 35 and 44, 15% between 45 and 54, and 5% and 64, and 65 plus is about 2%.
Okay. Is it
about 78% of the population are 44 years and or below.
So 18 to 44 years are 70-something plus percent?
8%, 78% of the sample, yes.
Okay. Of those sampled, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But generally, it's about 75% or 74% on the same age group. So they are quite significant, above 70%.
Okay. What about how does that relate to the national voter demographic?
That's what I'm telling you. In the national voter demographic, that age is about 74 or 75. And remember, this has a margin of error as well. So it's within range.
I see. The way you say NDC, we have Haruna leading, etc. You know, in the last election, things came about who is a Muslim, who is a northern person, and etc. And then John Mahamatu is a northern person. I don't know. Have you measured that or that one? Your poll hasn't gotten there yet.
We haven't measured that, no.
Okay. I see. Okay, so...
You know, sometimes you don't measure this thing directly because when you ask them direct questions, they may be very uncomfortable. But there are means you can use to see what they are thinking through the demographic analysis and then Pollster, which we do. But we haven't put that here.
Okay. On regional basis, let's now transcend for both parties. Who is doing well in which regional bloc or ethnic bloc, etc. from both sides? Let's start from NPP.
Let me see. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay. For the MPP in the Akan bloc, you have Baumia still leading with 53%, Kennedy 34% in the Akan bloc. If you go to the Northern bloc, Baumia is on 73%, Ken on 17%. If you go to the Volta bloc, Baumia is 44%, Kennedy is 31%, much closer there. Now, when it comes to swing regions, Greater Accra, Central, and Western, Baumia is on 57% and Kennedy 32%.
And then for the NDC side?
Now, when you come to the NDC side, in the Akan bloc, Asidin Ketia leads with 29%, Atiforsin with 21%, Haruna Jusu on 20%, and Lesdebra on 14%. When you come to the Northern bloc, Haruna is on 59%, Asidin Ketia 17%, Atiforsin 9%, Ablakwa 4%. Now, when you go to Volta Oti bloc, Ablakwa is on 29%, Haruna on 18%, Atiforsin on 13%, Mosquito on 12%, and Debra on 7%. And then when you come to the swing regions, you have Haruna on 29%, Atiforsin on 27%, General Mosquito on 22%, Julius Debra 7%, and Ablakwa 6%.
I see. You know, in Ghana, since the year 2000, there have been this conversation when it comes to making the choices. A northern person being vice, and okay, through John Mahama, now we always say there should be a southern pair, etc. for both sides. How does that work out per your experience over the period? I'm not saying that that's what you found out in this poll, but would it become a conversation at some point in time, or it's too early?
People are talking about everything. So those who are saying too early, are they in this country? Look, for NDC is a congress of various groups. A congress of Northern Bloc, the Akan Bloc, the Volta Bloc, and then also I would say the Ghana Bloc. And when you are a congress, you tend to rotate the leadership so that every party, every group will be satisfied that, yes, you are being fair to them. So on that basis, we will see that rotation possibly in NDC. That I can say that might be the case. It's not so much so for MPP. Now, for NDC, I can see that they would have no choice but to have a Muslim running mate or whatever it is, or a Muslim must either lead or be the running ticket this time around. They have no excuse this time around because of the dynamics of what might happen in 2028. So, yeah, that person becomes from the north, south, but they will have to be a blend of a Muslim, Christian, Northern, whatever ticket that they may have to put up.
That will be quite interesting. The Ken camp will not be happy with you because you give Baumian 57, then you decide to give Ken 20. I'm not saying you did, but your numbers. Sorry for accusing you wrongly. How does that come about? Is it because the delegates are still the same people?
You know, that's okay. We are used to that. What I'm saying is that it's not my job to put anybody below or above any candidate. We are just the messengers carrying. No, it's people. No, are you talking about the delegate one or the general public one?
I'm talking about the delegates one.
Hello?
I'm talking about the delegates one. The delegates one. Musa Dankwa. All right. All right. So we have Mr. Musa Dankwa. We'll try and get him back on the stream. I think the internet is messing up a bit. So Rashid Tanko has joined us. CEO for Gifford, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, my brother.
I hope you're well. Right.
Let me apologize for coming.
That's fine.
I had a terrible flat tire
Right.
this morning, so I had to jump on a Okada to the place. I think the Okada business, we need to strengthen it. I enjoyed the ride. I mean,
You did?
Yes, I mean, without Okada, I wouldn't have been here. I mean,
Well, you use an Okada?
Okada, yes. I was on the motorbike all the way
All
from
the
my
way
place to this
from your
place.
place
It
to
looks very positive. So let me apologize for the late coming.
Okay.
It's one
You
of
had a
the-
flat tire?
I had a flat tire. I traveled to the my area, Dimbela constituency, to visit them. Let me say good morning to them. I mean, they're fantastic people over there. And then came home late in the night. This morning, when I got out, I saw that I had a flat tire, so
Yeah.
I had to fix it. So I had to jump on an Okada. They're so smooth, very, very smooth. I mean, so the government is in the process of amending the route regulation distance so that to allow them to do good business.
Did you wear a helmet? Because that's one of the rules.
Oh, yes. They put on helmet. The gentleman also put on helmet. Both of us were on helmet. I mean, and he was very professional too. I mean, some of them are so professional. They are doing well.
Anyway, so welcome to the show. So we're talking about the Global Info Analytics latest survey, etc. But can I start with you, Musa Dankwa? What
I'm not Musa Dankwa.
Sorry. Okay, let me start with you, Rashid. You know,
Just allow him to rest.
I should rest. Lawyer Pierre Dankwa. So you've seen the permutations. What's your opinion about the names being bandied around? For the NPP, visibly, they've started to do a lot of active work on the ground. And for the NDC, there's been this hide and seek indirect way of trying to do ground or delegates or party people engagement by those key individuals who have been mentioned. What do you make of it?
Yeah, so let me wish all of you a good morning. Wish my the two doctors a good morning. Hopefully we can have a great discussion. Well, I don't know about the NDC side. As in, from what I'm saying, I haven't seen anybody clamoring for
or canvassing.
Yeah, for now. I think what has what's in the news is the attempts by the NPP to choose their presidential candidate. I think the discussion started with the infamous bottom-up approach when Ghanaians were asking that they did an introspection and do a self-reflection and then deal with the obvious issues that they have been dealt with. They decided to even deepen their problems further by coming up with this interesting bottom-up, up-down approach. Essentially, what they are doing is the party is going through a process to choose who they are going to sponsor to occupy the high position of the president of Ghana. And if what senior members of the NPP have said in the past is to be taken into consideration, that essentially on the 31st of January 2026, the New Patriotic Party is going to choose a candidate that reflects their spirit, a candidate that reflects their values, to potentially assume the high office of this country, of Ghana. So for me, I think it is imperative that Ghanaians consider or think about what the values of the NPP are, what fuels them, what their passion is. Because the position of the president is a very critical one. If the Galamsey issue is anything to go by, the fundamental problem or lack, the failure of leadership in this country to enforce the law. Well, essentially, that's why we have Galamsey and all the other issues. And to consider the oath that whoever becomes president will take. Because whoever becomes president come January 2028, January 2029, is going to take an oath, one, to be faithful to Ghana. Going to take an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of Ghana. Going to take an oath to dedicate himself or herself to the well-being of every single Ghanaian, essentially. So the question that ought to be asked is the NPP capable of, one, choosing a leader who is going to be faithful to Ghana? Is the NPP capable of choosing a leader who is going to preserve, defend, and protect the laws of this country? Is the NPP capable of choosing a leader who would dedicate himself to the well-being of Ghanaians? I think in making that analysis, we need to first of all consider how NPP presidents have handled themselves in the past. We need to consider the values of the party itself. We need to consider the spirit that fuels them. For me, like I've said on so many occasions, the NPP post-2008 is a party that has shown that they will consistently choose their party over their country. I think in the hallowed words of B.J. Darocha, when Honorable Alan John Chamantin resigned from the party, he made an argument why Alan Chamantin should not be accepted back into the party. And the biggest argument he made in that famous letter was that Alan Chamantin has shown over the course of his career, both in private life and in public life, that if he is pushed to choose his country over his party, he's going to choose his country. And because of that, the party shouldn't accept him back. Also, if you analyze the words of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and case in point is when he met the chief of Ekonfi, where he said that he deliberately derelicted his duty as president toward the people of Ekonfi because they refused to vote for his MP. You understand? The words to the people of Mepe that because they didn't, that he didn't even need to.
But that's why they didn't vote for his party.
No. So that's what I'm saying, that now the MPP is going to present somebody. And so for us as Ghanaians, because MPP is a public what's called institution, and they're going to choose somebody who will potentially become the president of Ghana. If they're going to choose their party, even then we needed to show interest. But they're going to choose somebody who potentially can become the president of Ghana. And so for us as Ghanaians, we need to interrogate the capacity of the party to choose somebody who will be faithful to Ghana, to choose somebody who can preserve, protect the constitution of Ghana, to choose somebody who is going to dedicate himself to the well-being of all Ghanaians. I'm saying that in doing that job, we need to interrogate the value set of the party. And I'm saying that B.J. Darocha, in 2008, when Alan John Chamantin allegedly resigned, his response was that the party should not accept him back. And one of the strongest arguments he made in that famous letter was that Alan John Chamantin has proven that if he is pushed to choose between his party and his country, he's going to choose his country over his party. And because of that, they should not accept him. And I'm saying that that is clear evidence of the fact that one of the cardinal values, one of the cardinal spirits, one of the cardinal view of the party is always to place their party's interests ahead of the country's interest. And to buttress that point, the position of B.J. Darocha, I'm saying that when you consider how His Excellency Nana Addo handled the position, his high position of the country, one, I'm saying that when he spoke to the chief of Ekonfi, where he said that he derelicted on his duty to the people of Ekonfi because they refused to vote for his MP. Clearly showing that character of choosing the interest of his party ahead of his country. Two, when he met the people of Mepe, he told them that he did not even need to come to them. Why? Because he knows that they don't vote for him. They again choosing that character, his character of choosing the interest of the party as against the country. During the Adreso by-election, when the NPP went around telling the people of Adreso that if they do not vote for the NPP candidates, then nobody could come to lobby them to discharge their duty to the people of Adreso. Once again, showing that they will always put the interest of their party ahead of the interest of their country. Two, during the parliamentary impasse, the argument the party advanced the argument the leadership of the party advanced, the argument the leadership of the party in parliament advanced. It clearly showed a party whose values is at variance or is adverse to the values of this country in terms of our commitment to the principles of the rule of law.
Okay, so the question then
It's very critical because the party is going to choose somebody to be considered for the high position of the president of Ghana. You understand? Now, over the years, they've told us that the spirit of their party always chooses their candidates. So we need to interrogate what that spirit is. We need to integrate what their character is. We need to integrate what their value set is. Because whoever they choose is going to reflect those values. And I'm saying that right as NPP stands today, they do not, their value set when it comes to their respect for the rule of law, it's adverse to the...
You haven't been hearing Kenny Japan. He comes in, he says a breath of fresh air. He's a businessman. He's going to make sure there's no Adidija, and then also making sure that
within the party,
the grassroots of the party are well rewarded.
In Ghana or within the party. Two, it's not the same Kenny Japan, who, contrary to the position of the country and taking into consideration the history of this country, because Ghana essentially is an amalgamation of 4 countries and a lot of diverse ethnic groups and value set and cultures. So if you are president, then it is one of your cardinal duties is to find a way of bringing all these diverse ethnic groups and countries together to maintain that unity. Now, when you have somebody who says he wants to be president and who at time past called on other ethnic groups to attack and kill people from other ethnic groups against the clear term, against the clear value, against the clear objective of our constitution, as seen clearly in the chapter 6. What was the NPP's position when he made that dangerous call? So clearly, what I'm saying is, none of the people being touted, indeed, the value set of the party right now tells me that they are incapable. The party, NPP, is incapable.
Brian Champon?
Is it not the same Brian?
Dr. Mahmoud
Is it not the same Brian Champon? Who
Kenny Japan?
Is it not the same Brian Champon?
Engineer?
Who attempted to... It's not the same Brian Champon who attempted to buy the Senate hotels. Do you know the implication of that? That singular act had the potential of killing the belief set of the people of Ghana in public service. Who? Dr. Bamia, don't even go there.
Kwabene Japan?
Kwabene Japan. The Kwabene
Dr. Mahmoud
Japan who lacked the courage of conviction. You see, when they talk about the coup d'etat, that the NPP coup d'etat, the Afoko coup d'etat, I'm telling you that if the NPP are going to speak the truth, that coup d'etat would never have happened had Kwabene Japan had courage of conviction.
You mean he didn't have guts?
No, he didn't have courage of conviction. And I think it's a story that's probably...
Is that what you claim?
Yes, Afoko, Sami Crab, and the other should tell Ghanaians. Because that coup d'etat would never have succeeded had Kwabene Japan had the courage of conviction. But again, that's what I'm saying. Essentially, when you take all of them, and they're going to be chosen by the party, I'm saying that the party is going to choose a candidate that reflects their spirit. And the spirit of the NPP now is not a spirit of patriotism. It's not a spirit that is capable of being faithful to Ghana. If they were faithful to Ghana, how did they even fight critical things that are essential to our Ghana, especially the Galamsey issue? Because, you see, we all read Prof. Frimpong Boateng's report on Galamsey. And if there was anything clear, it showed you the tacit lack of commitment by the new patriotic party. You understand? Indeed, they were the ones who were perpetrating Galamsey. And today they can have the cockroach audacity to speak about it. Go and read the Energy Sector Recovery Program. You understand? So I'm saying that if there's something fundamentally wrong with the party, it concerns their value set, their character, and clearly their lack of unfaithfulness to the Ghana agenda. Have you not been hearing Nanabi say loud and proudly that their party is supreme? How can NPP be supreme when we have Ghana? You understand? I'm clearly saying that. So that party I told you some time ago is a party that right now has been decimated by familiar spirit.
Decimated
By familiar spirit.
Somebody will say you are just an aggrieved former member.
No, aggrieved from
you are
former. Pain about what? You see, if I have any pains, the pain all Ghanaians have against the New Patriotic Party, how they prove themselves to be unfaithful to the Ghana agenda. And that's why, like I said at previous, I'm saying again, the good news is that a new party will be coming. A party that is followed by the right spirit, the right agenda. You understand? To fight for that Ghana cause. Because we don't have a choice. Nobody will build a country for us. Nobody will build a country for us. Classes are being done against us. You take this Galamsey issue, and the Galamsey issue is persistent. Clearly because of lack of faithfulness to Ghana, because of clear lack of leadership. Yes, so you have a situation where right now the NPP, who are supposed to be the biggest opposition party, do not have the moral grounds, the moral right to speak about it. When one of their leaders spoke about this, what was the attitude of the party? They quickly hauled him to that disciplinary committee. And yet, when Chemawun to Abronye make their despicable speeches.
Who are you talking about? Abuapapon.
Abuapapon said that the NPP lacks moral right to speak about Galamsey.
The temerity to talk about it.
He didn't insult anybody. He was speaking his view. Have they not called him to the... Meanwhile, when Chemawun to me had the temerity, the cockroach audacity to say that their entire process is being tilted to ensure that Bawumia will become president. When Abronye said that, indeed, in fact, made a statement that attacked the integrity of their systems. If the party had any faithfulness, any loyalty, you understand, to the abiding principles of integrity and commitment,
hey,
would they not be holding these two before their... Yeah, because you're a party. You're a party that ought to reflect the values of this country. And we have a country that says that one of or its abiding principle or its value sets includes a respect for the rule of law, a respect for accountability and probity, a respect for integrity, the values of integrity. And you have a political party who, by their actions, clearly show that they are adverse to.
So Wontumi and Abronye should also be treated same like the way they are treating Abuapapon and also member.
Abuapapon has not done any wrong. He simply says that because of their own actions, they lack the moral authority. Okay. Wontumi and Abronye should be suspended for showing values which ought to be adverse to the values of the NPP. But I see, don't sack them. They will just say we are distant and self-hypocrites. Because what Abronye and Wontumi are saying is essentially saying what the values of the NPP is now. That's what Ghanaians. I'm coming. Listen. If really we want to be truly emancipated, if we really want to build a country that is strong, if we really want to build a country that has virtue, why would we be considering anybody at all that the New Patriotic Party chooses for us?
You're not saying this thing because you are aggrieved?
Aggrieved.
Former member of the party?
Aggrieved. Listen. Solomon Usu has been saying this, and I stand on all forces.
You and Solomon Usu, you're on this tangent, former aggrieved members of the NPP?
We are Ghanaians. This I always tell you. That under no circumstance am I going to choose any party ahead of my country. And I'm aggrieved, yes, as a Ghanaian, because of the Koshoko leadership they gave us. That's left, what's called, our water bodies as brown as chocolate.
Well, it's now the responsibility of Rashid Tango's government to tackle it.
Listen.
Now, please end for me. Let me go to...
So in essence, all I'm saying is that it does not matter who they are going to bring. They are going to bring somebody who reflects their values. And the values, as we know them, are not values that we want leading this country. So for me, it does not matter. All I know is that Ghanaians are aggrieved. We are pissed with them, and whoever they bring is incapable of being faithful to Ghana. Whoever they bring is incapable of preserving, defending, and protecting the laws of this country. Whoever they bring is incapable of dedicating themselves to the well-being of the people of Ghana.
Very interesting point.
In 2028, whoever they bring will be slapped.
The name of your new party is going to be what?
Yeah, we'll come very soon.
Okay. Rashid Tango, so you heard that. And already Musa Dankwa is postulating. And based on those surveys that there are individuals in your party, the general secretary, the chairman is already on a thank you tour. We're told that it's just a normal party work. Julius Debra, the chief of staff, currently engages in a lot of activities within the circles of government, the government that you have a clear position in. is that a level of a disquiet, a concern about the inroads those individuals are making that could overtly or indirectly mean that they're campaigning or not campaigning, and so finding their names on the poll list should be of concern to you, or you're just focused on governance?
Very well. Let me tell you, we are focused on governance. Clearly, if you look at it, we have not opened up any race for a presidential slot in our party. So I don't think it's on the table for discussion for now. I mean, people are doing their job. They are doing their work that they are mandated to do. And then, so as a government, we haven't seen anything wrong with it. I mean, clearly, people have been tasked to do their job, and they are doing fantastic in the field of which they found themselves. We are focused on the ball. The research agenda is on course. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is on course. He's delivering the goods. You can see our international rating has increased. I mean, his presence at the UN meeting has increased tremendously. Our rating in the Committee of Nations. That shows that we've actually elected a leader. This is the kind of leader the country deserves as of now. And I can assure you, he's on top of issues. The government of the NDC is on top of issues. So for the issue of a presidential race, it's neither here nor there. It's not on the banner. The party has not taken any decision on it yet. FEC has not discussed anything of that nature. Not talk of the deck. So it's just people who are thinking aloud for the party. So we'll leave it as it is. But let's look at our opponents very clearly, because they have opened ears, and then they are trying to rewrite the political history of this country. I mean, with this method, they are putting out.
What do you mean by they're trying to rewrite the political history?
Oh, clearly. I mean, this top-down approach, we've never seen it since 1992. We've not had that type of structure. The Alisa group, you see, they are not doing the party any good.
Alisa group?
Yes, they sat in Alisa. It was Alisa Hotel they sat and took that decision. They are going to elect their presidential candidate before reorganizing the party. Who does that? You have gone to an election, you've lost terribly. You've lost, it has never happened. In fact, it's reminiscent of 1992 elections. After they lost the presidential, they ran away from the parliamentary. This is the first political party that boycotted a whole parliamentary election in 1992. You know, at that time, we did 2 elections. The first one was a presidential. After that, we now moved to the parliamentary. So when they were decimated at the presidential level, they ran away from the parliamentary. Now, to reorganize your party, you need to, because the tenure of these officers, the Alisa group, is almost getting out.
Alisa group?
Oh, I said they went and sat in Alisa Hotel and took that decision. I always describe the Alisa group, because when they did that thing, they were all loyalists of one of the candidates. They were all loyalists. It's just like you have hawks sitting as judges, and then you bring a chicken before them to take a decision on the chicken. What kind of decision is that going to take? So they sat there and took this decision that, look, we are going to elect a presidential candidate before we ever think of reorganizing the party. Because the leadership that gave them this terrible resource still want to hold on to the power that they are holding. And they know that if they manage to put up the sole candidate that they are looking for, then they can also metamorphose themselves back to the offices that they are holding through the instrumentality of the candidate they are doing. That's what the Alisa group did. And you know,
it's not because the NDC is afraid that if they bring Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, it could cause a defeat to the NDC in 2028?
Roland, it's a settled and tried reason that they want to bring Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They are bringing him. We are aware of it. That one day, nothing will change. That is what the Alisa group wanted to do. Package it. You think it's by mistake Wuntumi and Abuja is saying this? They were part of that decision. They sat at Alisa Hotel and took that decision. Everything they were doing, our ears, they were monitoring every discussion they had in that meeting. And I can tell you that it was well packaged. These other candidates that you are talking of, they are preparing for 2032 elections.
Which other candidate?
Oh, Kennedy Japan,
Brian Champon
and all that. I'm telling you, they are not interested in the 20.
Kwame Japan?
All of them, I'm telling you, markets. Because they know this election that they are going, You see, when they fold their arms and say they are not contesting, okay, you see, in politics, you need to always be in the picture so that the people know that you also have some interest. Do you get that? If you fold your arm now and said, I'm not going to contest because they have already taken the decision, then your next election, you will find it difficult. The people think that you are not a serious person. So some of them, they are just doing this so that they will be in the mind of the would-be delegates that in the next ensuing thing, after Baumia will lose terribly in 2028 election, then you consider it because they won't bring him back again. You think they are going to bring him after he loses the 2028 again? So they have to prepare themselves. It's a long journey.
I don't understand.
Oh, why don't you understand? It's a long journey. You remember something happened. Rollins told us something at Takoradi. In fact,
it has to be Cape Coast.
No, Cape Coast. It was Cape Coast when we went for our Congress. And he said something about NPP. That party, they always change their names, but they don't change their behavior. They change their names. The name, they continue to change the name. But the behavior, they won't change it. And I'm not surprised my learned counsel here said it. They always use the word, the party is soon, not the country. That's why Ghanaians made sure that since 1972, they refused to give them political power until 2000. When new generation came, they didn't understand them very well and gave them that power. That led us to all this problem we're having in this country. Ghanaians, but if you look at our oldies and our this, they don't want them at all. They are not the people who should be allowed to.
The voters make those decisions.
I'm saying that the new generation that came in, who were born around 80s and early 90s, became voters in 2000. They didn't understand these people very well. They decided to give them power. And when they came in, this money crisis started by President Kufuor. We didn't know that even to put a poster and another thing, you need to collect money from a politician. Well, people chasing politicians for money started from these people. And the Rollins regime and then the third Republican, we didn't have all these kind of things happening. So I am saying that this group of people, they have already settled on one candidate. And they will continue to be bringing it out. But I'm saying that serious minds in the party are worried that you needed to reorganize the party. Put the party in a sound footing before you think of putting a presidential candidate on it. But you are putting a presidential candidate on a weak party.
No, I don't understand. You're saying they should be electing their
officers. They needed to reorganize their branches, go to the constituency, have an organization, reorganize because some of the executives, they need to push them out if they really want to have a serious party. And their national executive, I think they will continue to wipe all of them out if they need to have a serious party. Okay, this is how they will restructure, reorganize the party. Then when the party is properly energized, then you can think of putting a presidential candidate who can lead them out. Now you are putting a presidential candidate on a party which is giving you 38%. The party that you are putting a presidential candidate on has gave you a 38% in the last election. And you still want to do that kind of thing. That is why I'm saying that my worries, and we as a political party, the NDC, our worry is this. We don't want to go for a one-party system in this country. That is what we don't want. And it appears we are moving towards that direction.
It will only be incumbent on you having governed the country well.
I am saying
and
that
the voters in 2028 making that decision. You don't make that decision.
I am saying that considering the performance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the NDC government, Ghanaians look at what is going on. Everything is going on perfectly. Prices of goods has come down. People's life has increased. Life expectancy, I'm telling you, by the close of the year, you see that it will increase. Because people are no more dying because of worries.
Oh, please.
Trauma, it's a fact.
We have the Human Development Index that is used in measuring that.
Yes, they will do that. I am giving you
plays a key role.
I am telling you that.
Rashid Tanko.
I can tell you for a fact. Last year, a lot of people died because of trauma. Didn't you hear that a business mogul who died? He came out and held a press conference, how his monies were locked up, his business were crumbling because of haircut they were giving them. And the man finally died. Was it not because of the trauma the NPP gave him? This year, have you heard anybody who has come out to hold a press conference, my business is crumbling and things are not going well and my funds are locked up and therefore I'm having trauma to die? And I'm saying that Learned Council made a good analysis of their behavior. And they have already, Aborinya and then Chairman to me, they are saying the same thing that the Alisa group sat and did. They are only the mouthpiece.
Abronia.
They are part of them. They were part of that meeting. They sat through in that meeting.
Alisa group.
Alisa group. They are the people. And they've taken this, so nothing will happen to him. That distancing, they say we are distancing ourselves.
Please put the NDC list from Musa Dankwa, the global info analyst, because he seemed to have been dodging the question. The list, the Haruna, Eric Opoku, and the list. Let me ask him a question. That list, you seem to be running away. Right? Is there? You say you just returned from Bimbila, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a certain public opinion or party opinion that you've seen it? Is there?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen
Yeah, and you are saying that formally the party has not opened nominations.
Yes, we haven't.
Okay, Haruna Idris is still the minister doing his ministerial work. He hasn't gone around doing anything. But we have the chairman on a thank you tour. Ato Forsen is also doing his work. He'll be going to the IMF meetings very soon after the UN, etc. That'll be in October. And then we also have Julius Debra also doing his work. Sometimes he engages in other activities as well. I've seen him keep fit and some other things, community engagements. All of them are doing their work. But for their names to be coming up in polls in which people within the NDC who are part of the sample size chosen by Global Info Analytics, indicating that they have preferences, at least for these first 5, 6. Usually, as executives of the party, how do you take it? How do you react to such things? What do you think need to be done so that they don't put the cart before the horse? Because they have responsibilities for which they have been appointed into office to perform.
Very well, like I indicated initially, these are sampling. My good friend has done sampling. Okay, he's thinking aloud for people. I know officially none of them has declared their intention to contest anything because the writ of contest has not been given to us as a director of elections. Don't forget, I'm still a deputy director of elections and I IT for the party. So before I can do anything, I must have a writ of office from the National Executive Committee led by FEC, okay, to go ahead and prosecute this agenda of electing a presidential candidate. And I told you in my opening statement, none of that thing has happened. They haven't given us a writ as an election directorate to commence processes for the election of a presidential candidate. So that is somebody work. He's doing a sampling. I'm sure there might be other names which might come out openly. Don't be surprised. Maybe tomorrow somebody also comes out and said, I want to contest. Maybe they will add the person in there. So for now, let's look at it as just a sampling. And it is not the decision of the party that we have opened up the processes for anybody to come in and contest. What I do know is that, yes, the national chairman, he led a campaign team during the 2024 election. We had several prongs of campaign. The president led a team, a group. He was then our candidate. The national chairman also led a group. I do know that the general secretary also led a group, and they were also moving. And so if he had visited some areas and he felt that he wants to go and thank them once again, I don't see anything wrong with that. The chief of staff is interested in exercises. Don't forget, before 2016, I remember 2016, he started something, Clean Up Ghana. Every Friday, at the end of the month, there was this cleanup exercise that was being carried out under his when he was then the local government minister. And then so he's a type who likes exercising. He likes a lot of work. Julius Debra. Those days, I remember him very well. They were doing this.
So what he's doing is just part of
that is why I'm saying
normal routine.
It's a normal thing which is part of him. And so you cannot begrudge him or that of the national chairman who did a fantastic job during the 2024 election, went around and did campaign in some areas. And when he's now going back to thank them, Julius is continuous his exercise and other thing. The other people are also doing their professional work, their administrative work, and all that. I, for now, don't see it to be a problem at all. The party is solid. We are solidly behind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to deliver. He's delivering it. The people are satisfied with our governance. We are going to make sure that we hold on to what we are doing. The reset agenda will continue it until 2028, so that Ghanaians will see that this party should be retained. Because what they are doing is what we are looking. International community have confidence in the president and the government of the NDC. The good people of the country are also happy that the kind of goodies we are giving them. In fact, I have been saying it. We have opened up the Flagstaff House. People can now go there, even in the night, to do demonstration around their place. Nobody will say anything wrong with that, because this is a good governance. These are the things we are going to deliver to them.
You're even making Dr. Tutubo even laughing. But what do you make of the permutations that are coming up? From the NDC side, individual names are popping up, etc. But we know the established names already because they have opened the floodgate, so to speak. Nominations have been accepted, people have been vetted, and so generally we expect that a presidential candidate will be elected for the NPP. What does it say? The speculations on the part of the NDC, those individuals, and then the individuals we know who will be contesting for the NPP, and then how that reflects on the governance.
So, good morning to our viewers, and good morning to my co-panelist and your good self once again. Let me be quick about this. UTAG is having our conference today, starting today. And we are telling Ghanaians that we remain resolute on our position concerning Galamsey. And so Ghanaians should have confidence that...
The University Teachers of Ghana?
Yes.
Association of
Ghana, yes.
Okay.
And that we are still in talks with the government, to make sure that, government does not renege on its efforts, to fight Galamsey. Roland, let me get to your question. And I think that Dr. Computer, as the director for elections, Deputy Director for Elections, I think that he has so much work to do, and I feel that going forward, you see, politics has so many legs, and one of the legs that can actually break you down is issues of complacency. And again, when you tend to not to actually look at polls that are coming out and the trends that are following.
Why do you say so?
Yeah, I say so because listening to him, I feel that he should be taking certain cues from what Musa Dankwa has presented, rather than probably indicating that the party has not, as it were, open its gates, for elections. I think that there's a popular saying that the voice of the people is the voice of God. And so I am assuming that this polls that Musa has brought out, though we can describe it as speculation, I think that probably he didn't just go, to randomly select names, but I feel that he had heard conversations going around, and based on these conversations, he decided, to sample these names and test the views of Ghanaians and probably party members, on these names to see how, the perception or the voting intentions of voters or party delegates, as it were, would be. And that is what he has done. And I think that Musa, for the NDC, all right, and that is what Musa has done. And that is why I want the Deputy Elections Director for the NDC, to take note of. You see, I would advise that he probably may want to sit down with Musa Dankwa, to probably discuss, some of these matters very well. Because, again, 2028 will be a crossroad, for the NDC, whether they like it or not.
I don't understand.
A crossroad in the sense that the sitting president will not run again, right? Unless maybe it is proven otherwise. But per the Constitution, he's not running again. And I think that he has, by himself, indicated that he's not going to run. And so it will be good for the NDC to start scouting, for a replacement. And like Lawyer Pierre Dankwa was talking about, you see, one thing that I feel that our democracy and the political parties, the two major political parties, should start looking at is that the voter behavior in Ghana is changing. And the voter has become so much oriented to the point that, they don't just go to the ballot to vote, but now they go there with a sense of entitlement, sense of responsibility, sense of nationalism and patriotism. And so they wouldn't want to vote for any candidates at all, as they would in 92, 96, 2000 and co, where, one of the criteria for voting for a particular candidate was your appearance. You understand? Those days, they will tell you that Rawlings was a handsome man. He's Obroni, and he speaks very good English.
Who are you referring to?
Jerry John Rawlings. You understand? And
are you saying they voted for Kufuor because he's also good looking?
They gave him the gentle giant slogan. Or you forgotten?
I have not.
Yes. So gentle giant, that brand that was placed on Kufuor, explains that he was thick and tall. All right. Some people were even talking about his sexy eyes and all that. You see? And so appearance. At a point in time, people were talking about John Mahama also as a handsome personality, somebody who speaks very well and all that. But you see, 2016, 2020, 2024 is painting a different picture altogether. And so now Ghanaians actually look at what is in for them rather than looking at appearance. Now, what is in for them? One, economical issues. A candidate who can manage this economy very well and to ensure that, look, my needs are met economically, So when candidates are asking for capabilities of a candidate, they are actually talking about the fact that, you can manage this economy very well and to ensure that, look, as a lecturer, I become a better person, all right? And as a broadcaster, Roland becomes a better person, and we are all giving our due. Economic development and all that comes in, And beyond that, issues concerning candidate personality traits, very important. Your leadership abilities, very important. And more importantly, your sense of responsibility and patriotism to this country. These are questions that people are asking for. So I believe strongly that in selecting candidates for both NPP and NDC, for me it is not a matter of whether the person has been an NDC person or an NPP person for a number of years, or whether the person is this or with that, or no. I think that is where we have gotten to, and these are the changes that we require from our two major political parties. And you see, so when it comes to this issue about comparison, more especially when Musa couldn't place, reasons, to these things, it becomes a bit difficult for anybody at all, to be able to say that, yes, pair this person against that person, and it will work for party A or party B. For me, I think that it will depend largely on the expectation or the kind of leadership, the kind of personality that these two political parties are looking for. And that is the most important thing. And they cannot do that, sitting by their desk in their offices at the party houses, to be able to determine this. This should be informed by deep thought research. All right. Now, to bring candidates, to the voting behavior and voting intentions and voting preferences of the Ghanaian voter. Else, if you are not careful, you would present a candidate to delegates. Delegates would follow, monetary issues, pick up any candidate for you. You come and place that candidate, and you realize that, you see, you are in trouble. All right?
I see.
And so for me, I think that it is very important that if Dr. Tanku talks about the fact that it is not time yet, for the NDC to be talking, I feel that, you want to begin a journey of 1,000 miles. If you don't take the first step, you never get there.
You mean he's playing ostrich?
No, I think that he's being very defensive.
And he shouldn't be.
Oh, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be. Probably he has not thought about it for now. And the party equally, have not gotten to that point. Okay. Because I heard him talk about the NPP decision, to move away from the normal tradition where you go through a certain process before electing a flag bearer, which the NPP had decided to change. All right. Now, you see, the question that comes obviously is that, you see, if you are not faced with a problem, what is not broken, you can't fix it, isn't it? But when a process is broken, all right, you think about probably fixing it. And you probably feel that I did it this way the last time, and it is not working for me. Just as, the NPP feels that the normal trajectory that they follow actually is not helping them or wouldn't help them this time around. So what can we do to probably avert the problems we are facing? And they said that, okay.
So you support their approach? Eh?
As a management person, as a marketing strategist, right? I don't doubt innovations and creativity.
I don't understand. You mean you advise them that they should go on this route?
I didn't advise them. I didn't advise them. Okay.
Huh?
I heard the decision they've taken.
Okay.
Okay. But if I am going to be the advisor of the NPP, I would have advised them to look out for a solid way that probably can put, the devil behind them, to sleep, rather than probably keeping that devil awake and then giving them problems. So for me, if the NPP feels that this is the direction we are taking, let us elect a presidential candidate first before, proceeding. Probably, and the reason that they are attached is that, look, they are bedeviled with, internal party wranglings. They need a unifier, who can bring the party together. They need a leader who can lead them to, unity and to rebuild the party. And so they want to start it early so that if they are able to get that candidate will lead them. Now, if it works, that is an innovation, right? It gives us, some of us, the understanding that, okay, let's research into this, all right? And then we do it. It could also give other political parties an eye-opener for them to equally learn about it. So my point is this. Obviously, when we see a competitor, all right, taking up a stand, and that stand, probably is something that will help them, probably catch out to the market. It should be a worry, to you as a political party, and probably do some level of study that will put you, to that level where probably you would understand that, hey, this position that these people have taken, what if it works? If it works for them, then it means that if you are not careful, it is becoming a serious weapon against you. So what do? All right. So it is better for you to start preparing, for that initiative that has been taken, rather than probably sitting on the fence. And in marketing, we believe that when we study strategic management, they will tell you that, look, the competitor who probably has not gotten to the marketplace, may be as dangerous as that competitor who, is in the market. Let's even take football. Yesterday, when I was watching Arsenal's match,
you're an Arsenal fan.
Yes, I am an Arsenal.
That's why you have a lot of patience. Please end for me.
I hear you. So when I was watching that match, I realized that, a player from the bench came to give Arsenal, the equalizer. And finally, they went on to win. What does it tell us in politics? It tells you that when a strategy is being implemented, you cannot just talk about, a competitor, a direct competitor that you are facing, but equally you must also take into consideration an indirect competitor. So in other words, what I'm wanting to
for the
advise,
MPP, who is the indirect? Who is the?
No, I'm talking about the
substitute.
I'm only giving. I am who?
Okay, thank you.
No, I've not landed. Okay. I was telling my brother Tango Computer something, and what I'm telling him is that look, with all the goodwill that they have, it is better for them to understand that the initiative that the NPP has taken is not something that probably the NDC should just condemn and then say that it will not work for them. Okay. All right? Because if it works, then it is going to give the NDC a hell of a problem.
Just say you have trouble looming.
We don't have.
Just a minute. You don't.
We don't. Clearly, we don't. You see, our party has a time-tested structure, and we work through the structure. I mean, I've been with it since 1992, and it has always worked for us. The NPP, this is the first time they are trying this. And I told you the reason why they took that decision.
Bottom up.
The top button, because this Alisa group, I continue to call them, want to hold on to their offices. Okay. And so the only way out is, let's bring in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This structure is already there. This delegate, haven't you seen they are talking about delegates already cooked? Nobody is going to be changed. The people that voted for him during the presidential decision are the same people who are coming to nothing has changed. So he's going to be their candidate, and then he also makes sure that
you seem to have mapped it out.
Until we have it, it's a strategy they have put in place. So we are
think the strategy will work for both parties. That he says there's a trouble that's going to become a looming crisis in NDC, and then also it's a done deal for DMB. They say
DMB. They don't have a so I forgot about them. Let me remind the OSP. Let me remind you that we sent a petition. His Excellency Dr. Bawumia says that Dr. Bawumia, bought over 300 pickups to aid MPP's candidates
a petition
to the OSP.
Are you part of the petition?
Yes. And so I want to use this opportunity to remind the OSP that in line with the spirit of probity and accountability and our collective duty to build that right political culture that will hold political leaders accountable. Because that's the only way we can guarantee for ourselves the rule of law.
Okay.
The OSP must, as a matter of urgency, look into the petition. You understand? And
is it really against Bawumia or
Bawumia, I don't want to go and do investigation. Bawumia, he said it himself. Okay. He said it himself. So OSP, we beg you, in line with the spirit of probity and accountability, please, what's called justice delayed is justice denied. Quickly look into the petition.
You said there's trouble looming for the NDC, right?
Oh,
we don't have it at all. We don't.
Roland.
Let me say good morning
Roland, wait.
Mr. Seth Abloso. Mr. Seth Abloso is a strong trade unionist, and then also Mubarak Usman of the Tamale Technical University, as well as Irene and the rest of them as well. And let me say good morning to everybody who has sent us messages. I see Kenzie, I see you as well. Zilis Dwayne, sorry I can't read everybody's message. So Dallas, I've seen you as well. And Prince Nani York is there. Let me say good morning to a man I met yesterday, James Pinkra, Pinkus Pinkra, Senior. All the best to you as well. And then Johnny Hughes, great guy. I wish you all the best. Pinkus Pinkra, wishing you all the best for the day as well. So wishing you all the best, all of you.